Right now, a farmer in Kansas is being paid for wheat that will feed families in Egypt. A factory in Vietnam is receiving payment for shoes that will land in an American mall. A government in Kenya is borrowing money from an institution based in Washington, D.C. None of these people know each other. None of them speak the same language. None of them share the same currency. And yet, every single one of these transactions happens smoothly, reliably, every single day. How? Because underneath the surface of the world economy, running silently, invisibly, at all times, there is a system. A system most people have never heard of, and yet it governs almost every financial decision made on this planet. Today, we are going to see it. The international financial system is not a building. It is not a single bank. It is not a government. It is a network. A vast, interconnected web of rules, institutions, currencies, and agreements that allows money to move across borders, allows countries to trade, borrow, and invest with each other, and keeps the entire global economy from collapsing into chaos. Think of it this way. When you plug a device into a socket, you do not think about the power grid. You do not think about the cables, the transformers, the generators. You just expect the power to come on. The international financial system is the power grid of the global economy, invisible when it works, catastrophic when it does not. The entire system rests on three pillars. Pillar 1, currencies. Every country has its own currency, the dollar, the euro, the yen, the pound. The system that determines how these currencies exchange with each other, the foreign exchange market, processes over $7 trillion in transactions every single day. More money moves through currency markets in one day than the entire annual GDP of most countries. Pillar 2, institutions. The International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, the Bank for International Settlements. These are the referees of the global financial game. They set rules, provide emergency funding, and keep countries from financially destroying each other. Pillar 3, payment systems. When a bank in New York sends money to a bank in London, it travels through a network called SWIFT. 11,000 financial institutions in over 200 countries connected through a single messaging system. Remove any one of these three pillars, and the entire structure above it begins to shake. This system did not evolve naturally. It was built deliberately by people who had just lived through the worst financial disaster in human history. The Great Depression of the 1930s had shown the world what happened when countries acted purely in their own financial self-interest, raising trade barriers, devaluing currencies, refusing to cooperate. The result was economic collapse. And in the wreckage of that collapse, political extremism rose, and the world went to war. So in July 1944, while the war was still being fought, representatives from 44 nations gathered in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, with a single mission: never again. They built the IMF. They built the World Bank. They made the US dollar the anchor of global finance. And in doing so, they created the invisible system that still runs the world today. You might be thinking, this all sounds very global, very abstract. What does any of this have to do with my life? The coffee you drink this morning was grown in Colombia, priced in dollars, and traded through an international commodities market before it reached your cup. The phone in your pocket was assembled from parts made in 12 different countries, financed through international credit markets, shipped through a global logistics system priced in dollars. The job you go to, if your company exports anything, sells anything internationally, or borrows money from global capital markets, its survival depends on this system functioning. When this system runs smoothly, you get cheap goods, affordable credit, and economic growth. When it breaks down, prices spike, credit dries up, and recessions follow. The invisible system is not abstract. It is in your kitchen every single morning. But here is where we have to be honest. The system is under more pressure today than at any point since it was built. The United States, whose dollar anchors the entire system, is carrying over $34 trillion in debt. When America froze Russia's foreign reserves in 2022, it proved to every country on earth that holding your savings in dollars comes with political conditions attached. China and Russia are now trading directly, bypassing the dollar. Brazil, India, and Saudi Arabia are exploring payment systems that do not run through SWIFT. For the first time in 80 years, the countries that benefit most from alternatives are powerful enough to actually build them. The invisible system is not collapsing, but it is changing. And the direction of that change will shape the economy your children inherit. Every empire in history built walls, roads, armies, trade routes. The modern empire did something different. It built a financial system and made the entire world depend on it. Understanding that system does not make you a banker or an economist. It makes you someone who understands the world as it actually works, not as it is presented in headlines. The invisible system is running right now. It ran while you slept last night. It will run while you sleep tonight. Now, you know it exists. If this video gave you a new way of seeing the world, please like it and share it with someone who deserves to see it too. Subscribe to my channel, Finomics, where we make the invisible visible. I will see you in the next one.